Nice to have your company from Sydney Motorsport Park. Race 2 of round 2 of the New South Wales Formula V Championship for 2016. Hello, Dylan.
Okay, we'd like to welcome Wilcon Construction and Development, Darren Williams' company, supporting this round of the New South Wales Formula V State Championship. Starting on board this time with Dylan Thomas off pole position after the win in race 1. Red lights are on and away.
Good start from Thomas. But look at this.
Better
Pace
start
got a
from Simon
great jump
Pace.
on the outside, and Thomas
he's
is
missed a gear.
forced to yield, and he has missed a gear. Pace has pulled a couple of car lengths on him going to the first corner.
He'll get
It'll
the
be
toe
interesting to
now.
see.
He's on board with Steve Butchie.
It'll be interesting to see if what's happening behind him, of course, as we see Butcher's got a slow start too.
I was just looking there. That was Simon Pace up the inside, on the outside of Butcher as well. So that's pretty good presence there from Simon Pace. So Simon Pace with Thomas with that's Steiny on the outside.
Yeah,
look
actually. Look at this. Stein going right around everybody. What a move from Daniel Stein up the outside of Thomas, up the inside of Pace, and he leads into turn number 3. So it was actually probably Steiny going up on the outside. Lock up from Pace. That's what bought Thomas and allowed Stein to get through on the inside of everybody. What a move. The interesting thing too, I think you'll find it was Steiny coming up on the outside of Butcher there, because the two red cars, they do look similar from the side shot.
I'd say you were correct.
And it's Steiny that leads them. What a start from Daniel Stein. From 4th to 1st in half a lap, and he leads them into the Brabham section of the circuit here, the extended part.
And we are on the Brabham circuit this weekend.
We are on that circuit for the first time in 3 years in Formula V.
Okay, and the current lap record holder is actually Daniel Reynolds, and his brother, there's a lot of smoke here. His brother Ryan Reynolds is in 3rd place. He actually had a bit of a penalty here. He's in 3rd place here. He had a bit of a penalty in the first race. So even though he crossed the line first, he actually finished in 8th place due to an infringement.
So he's also made a great start as well.
Yep. Look at there, he's up at the inside as we speak of him, inside of Thomas. Thomas left the door nice and open there to not allow himself to lose too many other places. Very early in the race, and the long straight down here at Sydney Motorsport Park.
Yes.
You don't want to get too far away, but the toe will always bring you back anyway.
Yeah, they don't like calling it Eastern Creek anymore. I don't know why. Everyone thinks that
Steiny going with him. Thomas back a car length, followed by Simon Pace, Michael Kinsella, Craig Spark again having another strong run, particularly after a strong first round. That's Darren Williams also improving after the first round, who was definitely down on power in the first round as well. So I think they've replaced the rings on that car, so it's anticipated a bit more compression, I believe. So I think here comes the 1200 field. Thomas getting a late tow here from
the outside.
Interesting that Steiny wasn't able to tow Ryan Reynolds. So
wow.
You know, but he's saying that a late tow by Thomas, but he's not able to do anything with it, and he's now on the outside. Will Simon Pace go to the inside and take that spot away from him as well? Looks like he will. Look at this. No.
Hung out to dry, Thomas, but he makes it work to his advantage. He goes deep.
He wants to go around the outside of Steiny. It looks like he's going to do it.
Thomas back to 2nd. Reynolds, of course, won 2 of the opening 3 races of the championship down at Wakefield Park. Part of the National Series. Kieran Glover won the other race, of course, race 2 of that weekend. Now they come to Sydney Motorsport Park. Dylan Thomas has got his name on the winners list this year as well, with a win yesterday. That's why he started from pole this morning. Yesterday's race, Thomas from Pace, Butcher, Stein and Spark. As we said, Reynolds finished 3rd, pinged back to 8th with a 5-second penalty. I dare say for exceeding track on this, because
No, it was actually for a practice start on the front grid, and that yellow car just going through up there. That's Matty Pearce in the new Mako. Well, it's not new, it's now 3 years into development, so and it's still developing along its way, so it's moving towards the front, so they're doing a good job. So just got to find a little bit more pace and a little bit more reliability, and they'll be right on it. Here it is. So you've got Ryan Reynolds, Thomas, followed by Stein, who just almost drops the wheel. That's Simon Pace looking up the inside, followed by Kinsella, who's pretty tight there, almost up the back of Pace, followed by Spark, who also was almost up the back of Kinsella. Coming out of this section, this is a great little section. It's like a cambered bit of circuit there. Looks like there's a bit of an oil trace from a previous category. You can see going off the side of the circuit.
Doesn't surprise me in the slightest. Doesn't surprise me at all. What I was going to ask you is, having spoken to the drivers, what do they all make of this new part of the circuit, this part that they rarely get to run?
Well, the V guys actually really enjoy it because it, although it's not a huge passing opportunity, although we did see Ryan Reynolds pass down into the hairpin, this is a new camera angle, actually. Look at this, coming through into the old, what was called previously 10, 11, 12. We don't normally see that, but because we've got the cameras down on the Brabham circuit, you've now got a camera over that way. So, good camera angle, actually. Here's Thomas with the toe, nice and early. Is he going to get him by the line, which is important for the run to the line?
Last lap, No,
not on this occasion.
Reynolds
So the drivers actually were talking quite positively about the Brabham circuit, but it quite suits the Formula Vs. Nice flow-in circuit. It is single file, but it is just something nice and different. And for New South Wales competitors, only having Sydney Motorsport Park and Wakefield Park to run a different layout is almost like running a different circuit. So
exactly.
Look at the kids out there having a good time as well. That's good to see kids at the racetrack.
Absolutely.
Stevie Butcher going around the outside of Craig's Park there as well, touching a bit of dirt. I just noticed, was that Jimmy Horn a bit further back than anticipated?
Yeah. In fact, let's have a look, because race 1 yesterday, James Horn registered as a DNF, so he'll be coming through the field.
So that's exactly why he's coming through, because him and Craig Sparks got together. Craig Sparks turned Jimmy Horn around, actually going out of turn 3, just where we saw him. So pretty good effort for Jimmy Horn to be that far up already. You got Reynolds and Thomas, who have been amongst the front guys all weekend, and Simon Pace looking stronger than he was in the first round. A lot of dust there from one of the two. Oh, that's a lot of smoke from Jimmy Horn.
So whilst he's moving his way through the field, he's leaving a few traces as well. Here's Jimmy Horn.
Oh, the back
Reynolds
of
leads
Simon
Thomas
Pace's car. You see the back of Pace's car there sliding around?
Yep.
Very that's spark.
But he wasn't the first one today, of course. Reynolds was a little bit scatty there earlier on as well.
There's a bit more smoke out of Horny as well there.
Early morning race, cold tyres, cold circuit. I can understand why it's happening.
That's trailing. He's going to get a black flag if he's not careful.
You would think so.
So, I mean, it's a long lap here, so you'd be ashamed to get a black flag and have to do the whole lap, come in, and a lot of oil down on the track there. So maybe a result of his contact from race 1 with Craig Sparks. So anyway, so he's now caught up to the back of that group. So he's actually done an excellent effort there. He's ahead of Darren Williams, Matty Pearce. I didn't catch that next car there, and that white car is. I didn't catch that one either.
There's a couple of our back markers coming through.
I think that's Michael Cook. So Michael Cook ran the 1200 in the first round. I think Michael Cook's in the LSV this round. Am I correct in saying that? Yes, it is. So he's gone from a 1200 in round 1 to the LSV 1600 in round 2. Thomas strong on the back of Ryan Reynolds here. These two have broken away from the rest of the field here. Butcher up the inside of Spark. Horny all with him. Kinsella just in front.
This is fantastic racing, just like what we saw at Wakefield Park 5 weeks ago. But the
Johnny Mack,
thing,
Curtis Porter.
The rest of the boys come through there. The interesting thing, you mentioned Thomas getting the drag on the run of the line, trying to get his nose in front. Very, very important at Sydney Motorsport Park, especially given the long straight, to get your nose in front. You don't sometimes want to be leading onto the main straight. The run off turn 18 of
Kinsella up the inside here of
Steiny.
Is he going to do that?
No, he'll yield.
See how close Sparks was to the grass.
That's amazing, isn't it? And also Butcher and Horn further back there as well. A lot more dust being kicked up. There's obviously been some dust put down there to cover an oil spill on that circuit. But as I was saying, the run out of turn 18 all important in terms of getting a run to the start-finish line. If you nail the run out of turn 18, you're going to set yourself up nicely to still have your nose in front.
Horn up the inside.
Horn of Butcher.
Everyone holds their breath.
Got in for the moment, but Butcher will fight back on the inside and get them as they head up to corporate.
Although Horny looks strong, doesn't he?
He does.
Okay, so here's Michael Cook and Lee Porter. That's Ray Cripps. So this is the lead battle. So the white car earlier was Ray Cripps, followed by Jeff Bathingway and Bernie Cannon. So the 1200 battle is being led by Ray Cripps, who had a DNF down at Wakefield in the trophy race, which sort of put paid to some of his championship aspirations. But he's saying that you do get to drop your worst race in New South Wales State Championship. So one bad race, it's not all over for you.
Not at all.
So good battle here between Lee Porter in his new car and his new Jacer and Michael Cook. Thomas trying to find a way around. Ryan Reynolds, but unable to do so. But the two of them are starting to open up a margin to it. Kinsella, big lob, taps.
Oh no,
Park goes
Spark
in.
gone as well.
Oh.
Well, can you believe that?
Okay, so that was probably a little bit of bad luck there from Simon Pace. Not wrong place, wrong time. Lock up from Kinsella. This is a nice little battle here with Matty Pearce, Johnny Mack, Curtis Porter, Darren Williams, and Aaron Pace.
Love to see an on-board shot of that. I'm not sure if we will have one.
You're not sure we've got it. So here's a 1200 battle. So with Ray Cripps followed by Jeff Bathingway, and I think it was just Bernie Cannon in the background. So now with that Kinsella incident, you've got the front two, then you've got his Steiny by himself, and a massive gap back to, I think it's Butcher, is it not?
I think you're right, actually. Butcher was the next one through to not be involved in that one. So it's Reynolds and Thomas helping one another. Stein with no help in third, then Butcher and Horn, then Kinsella. Then it looks like Sparky in seventh, and then Pace, because he was the big loser and all that, falling back to eight.
He was, wasn't he? So in fact, his son might even catch up to him. So Aaron's still trying to learn that Jacer, his new car for him this year, and it's only his second year in racing, so it's not like he's got a huge amount of experience to draw upon anyway. So doing a great job actually. So fairly technical circuit this one. A lot of, particularly the Brabham section. It's very technical. Get the car right through there. A lot of twists and turns. Experience definitely helps in this section here. Horny all over the back of Butcher like he has been for most of this second half or the second part of this race. Still got a little bit of that trail of smoke. Not sure he's got any oil left in there, so maybe the smoke's starting to dissipate because there's not much oil left. There's Simon Pace, Matty Pearce, followed by Johnny Mack, Curtis Porter, Darren Williams, Aaron Pace. You can see them all having a big puff of smoke on the downshift. Remembering that we are running VW Beetle motors and it's 1972 technology and trying to get twice the power out of them, so the rings are all pretty loose, so there is a bit of a leak in the down chain. So
there they are, going out of 15 now.
Yeah, out of the exhaust. So Matty Pearce is doing a great job holding back this whole group here. Oh, that's I just saw there was the I'm trying to remember who was in that other car of the Aurora. The Aurora has Adam Brook in it. Yep. Adam Brook's ran the first round as well in that Aurora, beautifully rebuilt Aurora. So good to see them back and having a good crack at things here as well. So he's just off the back of this group from my reckon. Here's Thomas. Will he get him by the line? Let's see.
No.
Not again. So Ryan Reynolds is feeling pretty safe leading because Thomas can't tow him by the line. And even here at the end of the straight,
hold on the outside.
He's not able to get past. So the engine in Ryan Reynolds' car is certainly ticking along quite nicely, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And the 100%. Two of them are pulling away from everybody else as well. Although admittedly, Daniel Stein is having to do it on his own.
Oh, exactly.
No
right.
tow to help.
No help at all. And around here, that makes it very slow. Because your point about the Brabham circuit being very technical, very unlike the rest of the Sydney Motorsport Park circuits, apart from maybe turn 2 and turn 8 on the Gardner circuit, it is all fairly fast, fairly free flowing.
Yeah, that's right. So the white Jason that just went through before was actually Mark Williams. I was trying to work that out earlier who it was, and I thought maybe it was Ray Cripps, which is here actually being passed by Jeff Bathingway at the moment. But the white Jason that we saw going through before was actually he's got the JAT sponsorship on it. Mark Williams, who used to run with us regularly a few years ago, so great to see him back and having a good run here. Here he goes. Oh look, Horny's got past Butcher. I wonder how much Butcher can see on that visor with the oil that's been coming out of the back of that car. But it looks like it's, I was about to say dissipated, but just as I said that.
Yep, well again, yeah. The other thing too, Adam Brook, relation to him?
No relation whatsoever.
There you go.
Look at that, is that Curtis Porter that's got through on all this group? It looks like it is. So he's done a good job there. Run. Lee Porter's still holding Michael Cook behind, and here comes Bathingway's got back around Ray Cripps. I know, or one way or the other. Bathingway is in front of Ray Cripps, and that would put Bernie Cannon all over the back of them. So this is a nice little tussle for first, second, and third in the 1200. Very tight battle. So he's first and second in the 1600s. Very tight here group here, and very hard to pass in this section here. You can throw it up the inside, but you're only going to slow yourself down on the exit. So it's a little bit of a do I or don't I sort of scenario.
It's it's kind of a lose-lose situation. situation. If you throw it up the inside, you're going to get past again on the run out because you don't have the runs.
That's right, and also you're going to allow Steiny to pull back up as well, so it's a bit of bittersweet. I mean, the reality is he really needs, Thomas needs to see if he can get the toe to the line, but from what we've seen so far, he hasn't been able to do so. Ryan Reynolds has been too strong. Well, at least
so far.
Yes, and there's the Aurora. See, the Aurora's just off the back of that. That's a great drive there by Adam Brook. You know, you've got a lot of experienced guys in that group there. You've got, Darren Williams, you had Aaron Pace. Well, he's got a lot of experience, but he's certainly got a lot of talent and a lot of car underneath him. So here's Simon Pace, and next will be this group I was talking of. I think you had Curtis Porter leading it. See, there's the Aurora. He's catching.
Yeah, absolutely.
Adam Brook is catching that group, so he's doing a fantastic job there. So Simon Pace is in no man's land. So is Horny's pulling away a bit from Butcher there. You've got Sparks and Kinsella all over the back of Butcher now. And here's this group: Curtis Porter, Matty Pearce, Darren Williams, Johnny Mack got a nose cone on the Mako, and Aaron Pace and the Aurora close behind. But he's not getting the toe. Here's the toe. Thomas didn't get him anywhere near by the line that time.
So there's our camera shot from the top of the pit complex, and it's still Thomas towing Ryan Reynolds down that main straight.
What you noticed though was Thomas actually stayed on the inside to show that, hey, I'm not going to try and go around the outside.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
maybe there's only a lap or two to go, and he's sort of starting to think, well, there's not much point here trying to go around. Let me get pulled along.
Yep.
And
look
up a Butcher.
Or sit in and then have another crack in race 3.
Yeah, well, I think it's also important not to bring Daniel Stein back into the battle.
Well, that's exactly right.
Because the worst Thomas can get in this position is second. Because you bring Steiny in, the worst he can get is third.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Even with that DNF at Wakefield Park, he's still a huge championship threat, is Daniel Stein. Now look at this.
Oh, look, Thomas almost touching that rear exhaust pipe.
Right on his cracker at the moment. Reynolds by millimetres from Thomas as they go round 2. And we see Butcher and Sparks side by side, and Horny catching.
Yeah. Okay, now Matty Pearce has got back around Curtis Porter there. Aaron Pace has moved up 2 spots there. He's got from behind those two into ahead of Johnny Mack and Darren Williams. Thomas really looks like he wants to get past. He looks like he's quicker in the tighter section, but can't do anything about it. So, good little battle here. Different strengths and weaknesses of the cars, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly right. As they go through the start of the extended part of the circuit 6, here 7, at Motorsport Park.
9. Look at that smoke coming out of Horny's car. I'm surprised the black flag hasn't been waved.
So am I.
And that Aurora's definitely getting. The Aurora's going to be in the toe next time around. Although he does. Oh, he's got smoke as well.
Yeah, how someone hasn't slipped on that yet and spat out or hit a wall or whatever, I'm not 100% sure.
Well, the lap times are a little bit down as well on these.
Fastest lap of the race, we'll tell you, was on lap 4. We've already passed that, 2 minutes 13.0639. Matt goes to the man in second spot at the moment, Dylan Thomas. What a surprise there! Getting all that toe down the main straight on Reynolds.
Well, that's why he's got it. That's why he's got it. Reynolds he's doing all the work out the front, and Thomas just gets pulled back in. So it's not surprising to see that the front two are pulled away, and the bloke who's second in that queue is going to get the faster lap.
Doing the hard yards is Reynolds, hopefully to reap the rewards in his case. Thomas will be thinking otherwise.
Thomas is just going to try
to lead or toe? Like be the person first in line.
It depends on the car underneath you. If you've got a good car, you've got no problems leading. It's always easy to follow.
Yeah.
It's always easier to follow because you've got a line, and if you've got a strong car, you just tow down to the finish.
Side by side, but still, Reynolds 5 millimetres at the line.
Thomas is actually practicing this by the look of that. I'd say Thomas is practicing for the run to the line, and on this stage. At this stage, I would say that he hasn't succeeded yet. But you know what? It's that close that all it takes is a small margin, and he may have it worked out by the time that the final lap comes.
It was less
which is
than
only
a tenth
2 laps away or so.
Less than a tenth of a second separating him, and that time by Steiny third. Horny catching him at the moment.
Horny is catching him.
Still spilling oil all over the shop, though.
Surprised he's got any oil left in that
I know, exactly.
Look at this. Aaron Pace has moved around the next lot of them. Aaron Pace is really starting to come on, isn't he?
He's having a great run. Isn't it great to see Pacey develop into a fine young driver? He gets it from his father, we know that. Simon's a great steerer, but Pace is only new to the sport in relative terms, and and he is slowly but surely becoming a force to be reckoned with in Formula B.
He has been crewing for his father for, I don't know,
years.
a decade.
Exactly.
So he would certainly have a fair bit of knowledge and know-how in the head. He's just now going to learn how to put that into practice. So also,
and it's a totally different thing being on that side of the fence and being behind the steering wheel.
It certainly is. But also a huge shout out to Curtis Porter as well, coming down from Queensland. You know, he's doing a fantastic job as well. You know, holding out a lot of guys that have got a fair bit of experience in these New South Wales circuits. You know, Curtis hasn't done bugger all down here, so he's doing a great job.
So again, it's still Reynolds from Thomas. Then Stein, 3 car lengths back, or actually more than that, back to Horn. Then you go back to Butcher, Spark and Kinsella. So it's Kinsella that's fallen back. It's Horn that's got the advantage out of those two at the moment. Horn's an on and off character. And sometimes
what happened to Aaron Pace? Aaron Pace is falling back behind Johnny Mack.
He's had an off-track excursion somewhere during this lap, I reckon.
And Curtis Porter was leading that group, and he's now behind Matty Pearce. So
potentially contact between the two, or an overtaking manoeuvre that's forced them both wide.
Someone's run wide, and everybody's gone taking an advantage, I suggest.
As is so often the case in Formula B, you battle for one spot, you end up losing 5 as they come back to the main straight once more.
And here is that group. Look at it.
Yeah.
Johnny Mack all over the back of Curtis Porter, all over the back of Matty Pearce in his traditional number 37. And just behind them, Aaron Pace doing a cracking job also with Darren Williams right behind him. Darren Williams looking at his old car there, so that'll be pretty interesting. Here's Jeff Bathingway leading the 1200 battle in front of Cripps. Here's Thomas. Is he going to get to the line this time?
Oh,
he's looking at his head.
Not yet.
Is that for the checkered flag?
Last lap board indicated this time.
I reckon that was the last lap. You could, the way Thomas was knobbing his head back and forwards, he was trying to get the run. And there's that was. Did Horny get the run?
We'll have a look when they come through turn 1.
This is the last. I'm sure this is the last lap.
Well, there's no checkered flag being waved at our start-finish point there, so this will definitely be the last lap.
Checkered flag's in the tower over here.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure this is the final. That's the finish spot. So there goes Lee Porter coming through. So I'd say that Ryan Reynolds took the win there from Thomas, from Craig Spark, who was getting chased down. Here's the lead of the 1200s. Oh, great effort. And the 1600s it was.
Reynolds from Thomas and Butcher the top 3. We
Jeff
apologise for that.
Jeff Bathingway does a great job beating Ray Cripps and Bernie Cannon in the 1200 results.